This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. As around the sun, the earth knows she's revolving, and the rosebuds know to bloom in early May. Just as hate no love's the cure, you can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always. I love this song. And I love how there is a slowed down version that has been turned into a duet by Marsha Ambrosius and Anthony Hamilton. I honestly, it's so good. So, right back, because I did not know about this song and I feel some sort of way. And it's like, so it is on the Best Man Holiday soundtrack. I didn't know this was, I didn't know it was, you know how I found out? A TikTok video.
Did you see the movie?
I saw the movie and I'm like, I don't even remember this version in the movie. And I'm like, but I also kind of don't remember the movie because I cried. Because I was like, look, I can't, my girl did. Okay. I was not prepared. So I feel like literally, Agent J came and neuralized my brain because I don't remember this. I don't remember this movie at all. I remember her dying. I remember him being a giant. I'm like, I think he was a running back, which I look at his build and I'm like, I feel like it's more safety, free safety. But, because, not saying that running backs aren't tall. It's just Morris the Chestnut is not stocky enough to be a running back in Stephanie's mind because Stephanie watches the sports.
Well, he was Ricky. Wasn't Ricky going to be a running back?
I think he was. That's the thing. What was he supposed to be a wide receiver? Now I gotta remember. I just remember he really wanted to be a football
running. All I remember is him running.
Right.
And
it's like
Ricky.
Hope y'all enjoying this sport movie thing that we are doing. So hello, welcome to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Stephanie, thank you for joining me. This person I'm talking to, we can talk about everything. The vast array of entertainment, as you can see. I have Reese, Miss Reese Alicious. Reese, please tell me you still have your podcast that I still have to do because we need to talk about Daria.
I'm going to have another podcast. I'm so lazy. I'll come back one day. Soon.
I like how probably. Well, thank you for dusting off the mic for me. And yes, I'm putting it out into the universe. I've put a lot of things out in the universe. Stephanie's Patreon. Also, me and Reese need to talk about Daria, okay?
Yes, we do.
That is my shit. Because now that it is streaming, I went out and bought.
Oh, where's it streaming?
So it is streaming on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
because it's like, on the Paramount
the
Plus.
Movies too?
So here's the thing, because it's really funny. So the college movie is separate. However, that summer movie in between junior and senior year, that is folded into the season, but it's sold separately. It's so weird because I didn't realize I had purchased it through Amazon.
It's sold separately.
It's like it's not. So if you look at that season, it's not included in the season. It's so weird. But when you buy
on the DVD,
it's separate. The two movies are separate. So that's why I thought it was weird.
On On the DVD I have, it comes it's like played straightforward. It comes in between the what is it, the third and fourth season. So it
Mm-hmm.
comes there, and then the college movie is separate.
So the box set so that is really funny because the box set I have, the two movies are on one separate disc by itself.
Oh,
So it's like I got the box
yeah.
set when they had just did it, and it's so funny when I watch because the college movie I remember watching. So when I watch it now in the box set, it's so funny because I'm like, yeah, that's not how it was looking when it originally aired. They edited it out, but it's kind of like it's really small things that I only
Uh-huh.
remember because I watched it when it debuted on MTV.
I didn't. Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't know
Yeah.
that because I didn't watch it when it was
Yeah,
on
and that's the
MTV.
thing. Like is it fall yet? I didn't watch it on MTV, so I didn't watch it until on a DVD. So if it's stuff is missing, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, yeah, so it's so weird because I was like, because then I was like, wait a minute, that's missing. But then I also realized the reason why it took Dario so long to get on DVD is because MTV wouldn't clear the music.
Yeah, all that music,
It
all
was
those good shows.
so
It's
much
all the
mu-
music.
it's so much music. I'm like, y'all had to do a lot, so it's probably why some of it's edited down, probably. But it's like
Hmm.
they edit out a lot of music. I was like, after all this time, y'all couldn't just pay the
Change it.
artist. Yeah, it's like you just
You have
pay
to
the
change the
artist.
music.
Yeah, they
Oh,
changed
yeah,
all that music
that.
because it's like there's no identifiable music from any artist in there now. So I'm like, huh, because Daria was full of music.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, y'all. So this is just making me go, well, we gotta go. Oh God, because it's 5 seasons, so that's a lot. But y'all, I asked Reese here because we got to get into some things. So let's start low key. Bravo has been bravoing for the last 3.5 weeks. Wait, yes,
Yeah.
3.5 weeks. We have the Scandival. We got new shows dropping. We got people fighting on the internet. We got Candy and her ponytail on the YouTubes talking. We Tamika Scott, who has been had this YouTube apparently. Now she with the shits. We got Debrat involved. Tasha is everywhere. She doing a gospel album. Y'all are pissing off Lily and Coco. And then you got Akbar V for some odd reason. Oh my God, let's go with this.
Who is Candy's cousin? Like,
Candy's
who knew that?
so when you watch Love and Hip Hop, that's the only reason why I knew. Because I remember watching it was like her cousin Akbar, your cousin Candy. Birds.
Uh, they real cousins, or like is
They're
that play
real
cousin?
cousins. No, they are real. They
Uh,
are family. Because one when Akbar V was on Love and Hip Hop, because she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Don't ask me what season, because girl, I can't remember. Um, she mentioned that Candy was a cousin because I think Candy made a cameo as well. Because
oh, okay.
Candy's also friends with Rashida.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, and I'm like, no, that kind of makes sense. But it's so funny that it was like, wait a minute, what is happening here? So
I can't believe it's only three. It's only been 3.5 weeks. The scandal has been. It feels like forever. I feel
it
like
feels
I've
like
been
50, 11
listening.
years.
Yes.
They filmed their reunion. Oh, yeah, yeah, it's incredible. Sheena had a temporary restraining order against her, and now it's been dismissed. And child, we got
Yeah.
them like we got Regut season 3,
But that
Miami
happened after. Did that happen after they filmed the reunion?
with.
The that the
She dismissed it.
that the yeah.
This
That
the
happened after the
Yeah,
reunion,
that
or
happened after the reunion. So what they
oh,
did for the reunion for the seating chart is that um they kept Sheena and Raquel or Rachel, as everybody like to call her now, because that's her actual name. They were not on the stage at the same time. So it's like they've
okay.
swapped those two out. And then I think the restraining order was today. We're filming on March 30th, y'all. So I think the restraining orders dropped yesterday. They filmed the reunion
Yeah.
last week.
Okay.
I was like, Lord, this is a mess. Oh, and now they're like, oh my God, Tom and Raquel are still dating. After all this, you better.
They have to keep dating.
It's like,
They I don't care if
bitch.
they have to they have to stay together for a
At
while
least I'm like, you
just
can't just
to
do all
save
this and
face.
just break up. I'm like, there's no possible way. This is not help.
No.
I'm in a secret relationship. Okay, so
Mm-mm.
sidebar. I love this season of Help I'm in a Secret Relationship. First of all, I love Ronnie. Down. Love her. But there was an episode here where it was like a mom is like, my son is being secret. I don't know what's going on. Come to find out, her son and her podcast co-host were in a relationship of like a year.
Oh,
Because one woman's like 40
okay.
something years old. She's like, oh, I'm done with this. Then find out when they did like the you know how they do like the updates that they broke up. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, hold up, with this woman for a whole year, and then as soon as your mama find out, you break up. You didn't think about that. Well, I don't know. 3 months into you date
Uh-huh.
her.
Oh,
Hello, we can see you. Like, are you being serious right now? Are you what? But I'm sorry. This Help I'm in a Secret Relationship this season is theater. I'm like, girl, what is this? Mess. I love it. But let's see. We got Regut 3 is out. We got 4 episodes of that. Girl. um, the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, I think. No, it's not season 13. 15.
15. I think it's
Oh,
15.
season 15, the trailer dropped today. And I'm like, okay, I'm
Mm.
in. I'm in.
Yeah,
We are
it's good.
I was like, activated sugar mama. Because any other time, Candy be sitting there eating her chicken wings, shaky voice, and be like, she be holding back. That's why she always got the shaky voice and tears, because she like, look, I can't do what I want to do. And now
They've been on Candy's ass
it's
since
like,
Marlo started it
oh,
last season, and then it's been going since then.
and since then, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
And then we got the SWB escape show. I'm like, wait a minute, Sugar Mama is activated in this damn trailer. That trailer is like 2 minutes long. And I seen
She
her fighting with
crying.
3 people.
Mm-hmm. She crying, her voice shaking,
Say,
yelling.
girl. And then on top of that, why do I see my
Dang.
girl Lisa Woo 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 Hollywood Diva for 3 seasons, formerly Hartwell? I'm so excited. I see Deshaun. I don't know why we saw that lady with that
Mm,
wig and who's
the
living at
wig
that
was
alleged
there.
foreclosure house. I don't know
Somebody
why we
said
saw her. I said,
that's how she kept her house. Uh,
oh,
somebody on Twitter said she got that Bravo
like,
check
see,
for
she was
that
like,
guest star.
that's how she held off with being
She made a payment.
like, that's how she said, nope, I am not being foreclosed on. I'm like, girl, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this. And then to add on, I'm like, I still don't have my OC count trailer, but guess what? I do have Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. Bitch.
Oh,
And
I didn't see that.
wait, you haven't seen it?
No.
Girl, I will send you the link. Because shout out to my shout out to my girls in the group chat. Because that was like, there is a Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. I said, girl.
Yeah, I knew it was coming, but I didn't realize the trailer was
The
already
trailer
out.
is out. It's also coming May 7th as well. I said, oh,
That quick?
this
Wow.
is the
Okay.
follow-up. Because it's kind of like, even though it like Sundays are for Atlanta, right? And so I'm like,
Hmm.
what's gonna follow it? It's like, what's gonna follow it? What y'all got? What y'all got in the pipeline? We have Summer House Martha's Vineyard. And I think by that time, it's like, I'm trying to think we're midway through um, I don't want to say original recipe Summer House, but yeah, that's how it feels. Um, I don't think we've got the mid-season trailer yet. So I think original recipe Summer House should still be on. Well, yeah, May 7th. Well, maybe. Oh, it may not be.
Hmm. I
It may
think
not be.
we just got the most recent episode. I think it's episode 7
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Summer House.
And usually
So,
Summer House is not a long season. It's not long. So,
uh-uh.
hmm. I get so when they told me they said Martha's Vineyard, it's like you don't think black people in Martha's Vineyard, but it's like you should because a lot of black people
That's
do go
where
to
Obama
Martha's Vineyard.
is.
Yeah, it's like a lot of black people do go to Martha's Vineyard, but then it instantly made me think of the Inkwell. I'm like, oh shit.
Uh,
Oh, I'm here. I'm so here. This is great. No, wait. So yeah, I was getting my whole life with trailers. I did not. get my OC trailer. I'm like, where the fuck is it? I mean, we got the mid-season trailer for Jersey last week. I'm like, okay. And the fact that it's coming in May, I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured. I'm like, it's not coming in April. I'm like, it's gonna come either. I think somebody had asked me, and I said it's probably gonna be late April, early May. I like
Mm-hmm.
being right about these things. I'm like, yeah, y'all ain't said enough. There's no way in hell y'all going to like drop something end of March. It's going to be mid-April. Absolutely not. Not with Atlanta. You can do that with Salt Lake, but you can't do that with Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So I'm very, very excited. I wasn't excited to see two sisters fighting because the fact that we got this SWV Escape show, and it's
I didn't even watch the show. I wasn't watching the show. I was saving it.
yeah. The thing about it,
uh
Reese, I'm gonna tell you to
to
binge it.
binge it.
Binge it. It is
Yeah.
bingeable. It really, really is. I just didn't expect all this stuff on the back end. I did not expect all these lies. Candy continuing to speak on it on brand because she did. She's been doing it for a few years, and she did it for
Yeah.
every season of Atlanta. So I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep doing that. But Tamika relaunched. I'm sorry, Tamika with an I think. Yeah, Tamika
Okay.
with an E is Tiny. Tamika with an I is Tamika Scott. That's Latasha's sister. I had to look. I'm like, I thought they spelled their names the same way, and they don't. Because I could be. Nope, nope, that's right. Tamika with an I is the Latasha's sister, and so this whole thing with stealing of the royalties. I'm sorry, allegedly, because yeah, and then Tiny Mama is in it, and Tiny looks just like her mother.
She
Like she
does.
literally looks. I'm like copy paste. Like, girl, what the hell is this? You look just like your mother. It's actually kind of wow. And so then find out, and Tamika donned this all on herself because I don't think I've ever heard this, but apparently there's also a sex tape of her out there that she made at 20
Yes.
some years old, and she was like, I ain't got no shame in it. I'm like, why should you have shame? If you, she's like, I wanted to keep it. I look good in the tape. I'm like,
Yeah, but why you give it to your sister?
so
Like who
what
give it
she
why you give away your sex tape?
when she said it, she's like, she didn't want to keep it in the house. I think it's because like her kids were younger. And I think her daughter was like, because she had her daughter pretty young. So she didn't want to keep it in the house. So she gave it to her sister to put in their safe. And she's like, somebody stole the tape. And she's like, the only people who know about it is you and your husband. I'm like, oh. So yeah, they're going back and forth. Latasha went to, of all places, Dish Nation in Atlanta, where one of the
Mm-hmm.
hosts is the brat, friends with Jermaine Dupri. Girl, what did you think? It was like, I love Brat. I'm like, girl, she pregnant. Leave her pregnant ass alone. Let me tell you something. She's not gonna be neutral. Because I don't think there's a way that
No.
she could be. It's like she's not. She's still cool with Jermaine. And you've been dogging Jermaine. I'm like, girl, we not gonna do this, but she gonna keep it cute to a certain extent.
I
So
don't understand Natasha at all. I don't understand what any of this is, why she's doing any of this. Like, why do the show? Just put out your gospel album and move
or
on.
or just not come back because now like two on Tubi they have Hollywood Divas. They have all three seasons. Child masterpiece theater.
Mm.
Carlos hosts all three reunions, and Todd was still as the EP. So I think that is where the fallout happened was because of Hollywood Divas. But I need Tubi to get
Oh.
R&B Divas because you can't stream this anywhere because I got to see her seasons. It may have just been one for her. I want to see her and Nikki because apparently, allegedly, a gun is involved because somebody pulled a gun on somebody. I'm like, girl, what?
Oh.
What? Not a pew pew? I'm like, girl, what is happening?
No.
What is happening? So this show is not Tasha's first foray. Even Escape Just Kicking It wasn't her first foray. I totally
Mm-hmm.
forgot about her being on R&B Divas. It's like, oh, this is like her third show. She's new to this. Man, y'all close. Why don't you try to get her on Grown and Gospel? Which I did, but it's not on OWN, it's on We TV. I'm like, does he
You're
does she
breaking up.
know? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, wait a minute. When I saw Grown in Gospel, I'm like, it's on Weed TV. I'm like, it's weird. And then when he said it's my show, I'm like, wait a minute, does Oprah know this? Does Oprah know this, Carlos?
I didn't
But
know he did any. He had other shows.
right,
I
it
thought it was
was
only the Love and Marriage.
it's like exactly. He's that he has so his other shows, Love and Marriage Huntsville, DC, and then the Bell Collective, that's all on own. So when Grown and Gospel, I was like, girl, what's this? I didn't know it was Carlos's show until he said it. I'm like, his show? I'm like, his show? I'm like, wait a minute. Let you do I'm kidding. She might be like fine with it. Like, girl, it's fine. Get your
Wait, does
money.
the Latasha does she live in Atlanta?
So I think she does.
Because if Carl is going to make another Love and Marriage, he needs to get them on that show because
Okay.
that relationship is wild. I don't
Okay.
know what's going on there, but
Okay.
it needs to be
Okay.
on TV.
What so I had missed this clip, and it's like I guess I missed it. So when you binge it, there is going to be a scene where Tasha's doing a confessional, then all of a sudden
I saw that.
Rocky,
I saw it.
it's just
Yeah.
like, listen, girl, this looks super creepy. I'm like, and that could just be maybe she just nervous about confessionals because I mean, apparently she didn't look that good on R&B Divas. I um, I'm not I'm not sure, but it was like, yeah, I missed this totally, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw it. I was watching Rodney the Voice and
When I tell
he
you
was
I
talking
love
about it.
Rodney, when I tell
Yeah.
you I was like, wait a minute, was I not paying attention? Probably not, because here's the thing, and this has always been my opinion. This is only my opinion. I don't have any facts. I have to tell y'all that because we're talking about stuff that is alleged. When you keep talking
Mhm.
about when they kept talking about the 30K, it's like it sounds like he operate like he operated outside of his own, like she wasn't involved in it. She didn't find out until later, and she covering for him because that's her husband.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think they were in cahoots. It's not Boris and Natasha. It's like because it became y'all because of that's your husband, and you ain't go, wait, did you steal my sister's money? But then it's
Hmm.
like somehow in this weird way, her mama's involved too. I'm like, wait a minute, thing,
Well,
girl.
according to Tamika, it's even more than $30,000.
Yeah.
They were just he was just taking all of her checks. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she stopped at 30,000. Um, but then he was just stealing her money.
Girl,
So
have
I don't.
have you seen? Because I watched some of it, but I didn't finish all of it. That Tasha K, they said leaked audio. That heifer was sitting in her office with the phone on speaker with the mic in front of her. I was like, it wasn't leaked. I'm looking right at Tasha was set up. Okay. She was set up in her studio with the phone on speaker.
Mm.
And he was like, I think it was maybe in that one where he said Tamika was getting Latasha's royalties. I'm like, okay, so the way that, and I think I can't, what's it called? I think it's called SoundScan. The way that Candy made it sound is like usually with royalties, people who write the songs. But this is another
Yeah.
way that people who perform the songs can get royalties. So now I'm confused.
Hmm.
What do you mean? It's like, so why would she
So
be getting
wait, she
different?
wrote the song?
That's the thing. That's why I was confused, because the way they're set up to get the royalty is for everybody who participates in the song. But Rocky is
Yeah,
trying to
that's what
say
those
that,
checks are for.
yeah, it's like, so he was trying to allege that the checks that Tamika is talking about was actually supposed to go to Latasha because she was getting Latasha's royalties. I'm like, if it's just for them participating on a song, they're all on the song. Wait, what?
But if her name is on the check,
Right. Her name was on the check. And
yeah.
then
So I don't. Yeah, it doesn't matter what he thinks, who he thinks
who
that
think it
money
is? It's
belongs
like
to.
her
Her name
name
is
is
on the
on the
check.
check. And so
Yeah.
Tamika, like it's still on her show. I was like, Tamika is not for the shits, okay? She's not for it. So she put up a video where it was her and Tiny's mother talking about how things were stretched. Like she was like basically telling the story from her. She like, I told all the girls, sign up for this so you can get royalties, this, that, and the third. And the only reason why this has allegedly not come out any sooner is because if she wanted to get her money back, she would have to start, she would have to prosecute them.
Yeah,
And she was like, I
yeah.
didn't want to do that. I'm like, yeah, because that's your sister. I'm like, no, we can talk about this, but also, I don't know how much you can talk about when your sister, like someone literally is stealing money from you. And the only reason why you know that is because Tiny's mama said, wait, where's she? She's like, what do you mean I ain't getting your check? I ain't getting no checks. What you mean? So what if
Mm.
she did? It's like, it is just a mess. Their family is in turmoil. But yes, please enjoy the binge. Because I feel like
Yeah, I
this show
will.
is definitely bingeable. Kind of like Help, I'm in
Yeah,
a
because
secret
it's only
relationship.
like what? It's like 5 or 6 episodes.
I think that's what they were saying. There's only be like 6 episodes. Because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
how many episodes have we had? Three, four? It's like, it's a lot. And it's mostly escape. But then you got to add in the speak on it, the YouTube videos, the interviews with Dish Nation and God knows who else, and Tasha K. I'm like, girl, it's a lot meatier than this. I'm like, oh, y'all bucking for a second season. I don't know if that's going to happen. And now Escape is going out as a trio. I'm like,
Well,
I
Candy
feel
said she didn't even want to do this show, so I don't
she
really a
didn't.
second season.
Right. That's what I was like. Well, even when she was on Escape kicking it, she's like, she didn't really want to do it because she didn't want to get back with the group.
Mm.
And it was like Tasha, like, oh, Tamika a liar. And it's like, yeah, that whole made up rumor about Candy and SWV. She did that. I'm sorry, Candy and Jermaine Dupri. Tamika did that for Latasha. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, girl, now she a liar when she not lying for you. Ooh, look, that's it. I wish Iyanla was still around so she can go find her a life coach to help fix their life, but they gonna need a whole
Yeah. Well,
season because it's a lot of stuff that y'all need to get out. But anyway,
yeah.
so
Their
yeah,
whole family
so
is a mess. I
it's
heard the
like
mom is a mess.
the
The
child.
mom
Wait
is
till you watch the episode when you hear that voicemail she left Latasha Tamika. I was like, I am
it's
not
so
after you for
bad.
cussing out your mama, but do you need me to write you a script? Because I have no problem. Okay, so next in low key, and this just came out. What Troll has been found not liable in Utah ski crash, awarded $1 in damages. What?
Yeah. She did all this because just for what? I don't understand. I wasn't paying a close attention to it, but
Gwyneth Paltrow's going to the courts? Why? Why is she
I
doing
know.
that? So okay, so this is from y'all. This is from People. Oh, it's not written by Dave. Oh, Dad, I love Dave Quinn. The jury reached a verdict in the civil trial between Gwyneth Paltrow and Terry Sanderson. So this is not criminal; it's just civil because she wanted some money over a ski collision that happened 7 years ago. After less than 3 hours of deliberations on Thursday, the jury in Park City, Utah, found that Gwyneth Paltrow, she's 50. I didn't know that, was not at fault, and that retired optometrist Sanderson, 76, was at fault 100%, and that it caused her and it caused the actress harm. The jury awarded her $1. Apparently, she has been in court for 2 whole weeks.
I know. Yeah.
Girl, like, you
Over a
know,
ski accident.
oh, see, I'm sitting here like, people are like, girl, what about Gwen Paltrow? Like, why? What
She paid her
happened?
lawyers more just
Girl,
to do
imagine
this.
it's like you paying like they got billable hours for you to get $1 back. It's like, girl, so how much is the percentage for the for your team? You gonna end up owing more money. It's like they gave you a whole dollar. Oh, Lord. This is gonna be what I'm gonna be interested in. Donald Trump has been indicted. And
Yes.
of course, he has a statement.
Of course.
Because apparently he has been able to come back to the Twitter because that guy who seemingly sounds like a cartoon villain is allowing him back. But on him, Truth
But he
Social,
hasn't been using his Twitter. Yeah.
no, he has
He's a
not.
while back, but he had to
He's
come
but
back.
hasn't used it. But on truthsocial.com, him, he has a statement. This is political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. From the time I came down the golden escalator at Trump Tower, it's a golden escalator, and even before I was
Mm-hmm.
sworn in as your president of the United States, the radical left Democrats, the enemy of hardworking men and women of this country, have been engaged in a witch hunt to destroy the Make America Great Again movement. You remember it's just like I do. Russia, 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 the Mueller hoax, Ukraine, 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 impeachment hoax one, impeachment hoax two, the illegal and unconstitutional Mar-a-Lago raid, and now this. The Democrats have lied, cheated, and stolen in their obsession with trying to quote unquote get Trump, but now they've done the unthinkable, indicting a completely innocent person in an act of blatant election interference. Never before in our nation's history has this been done. The Democrats have cheated countless times over the decades, including spying on my campaign, girl, but weaponizing our justice system to punish a political opponent who just so happens to be a president of the United States and by far the leading Republican candidate for president. What has never happened before, ever. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who was handpicked and funded by George Soros, is a disgrace. Rather than stopping the unprecedented crime wave taking over New York City, he's doing Joe Biden's dirty work, ignoring the murders and burglaries and assaults he should be focused on. This is how Bragg spends his time! Exclamation point. Believe this witch hunt I believe this witch hunt will backfire massively on Joe Biden. And the American people realize exactly what the radical left Democrats are doing here. Everyone can see it. So our movement and our party, united and strong, will first defeat Alvin Bragg, and then we will defeat Joe Biden. And we are going to throw every last one of these crooked Democrats out of office so we can make America great again! Exclamation point. This has 16.1. Yeah, I don't know what the hell True Social is. But when I tell you, it's like, girl, put him in the jail.
I know George Soros is like, bitch, what? Why?
Period.
I don't know what George Soros does. I've never heard from that man, but he's all over everywhere for them.
Like, seriously, like, he's like, what did I do? Like why does he hate you so much? I'm a Democrat. So for everybody's like, why is he being indicted?
It's
So
the
he is being a New York grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump on Thursday over his alleged role in a scheme to pay hush money to a porn actress during the 2016 presidential campaign, according to two people familiar with the matter. The indictment voted on by the grand jury. We're getting into trial on Thursday afternoon and filed under seal, according to the individuals, thrust the country onto uncharted, uncertain legal and political ground. The case against Trump, brought by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, is centered on a $130,000 payment to an adult film actress, Stormy Daniels, who claims she had an affair with Trump. Trump has denied the affair. He's the first former president to be criminally charged. He also should have been actually indicted by both by the House and the Senate in Congress, but guess what? It didn't happen.
uh-huh.
Yeah, so he did that shit. The man who literally has cheated on every woman, allegedly, that he's ever been with. Him like cheating on Melania. Heavens. Someone hand me a string of pearls so I can clutch them. Girl, he did it. It's like, so let's see how
Of
this is going to
course.
play out. It's like he's indicted. I'm like, they are trying to like get rid of me. Sir, we did get rid of you in
Exactly.
2020. Like, girl, get out of here. What are you doing?
Mm,
It's like you're doing
I'm
Joe
just
Biden's dirty work. It's like, I really do
he
think the president
refuses
has
to die, so I need him to go to jail.
he really is a cockroach. He will not die.
Mm-hmm.
He's really just vermin. Like, what is happening here? But he's indicted. And it's like, sir, if you really want to make some waves, get back on the Twitter and put this announcement out. Oh, right. Y'all trying to just get rid of me. It's the Democrats. I'm like, what? So did you not fuck her or not? Because you really should be mad at Stormy because, apparently she said, fuck your money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We went through a whole trial because Monica Lewinsky sucked Bill Clinton's dick. Shut up. Shut up.
Mm.
Shut up right now. Like, excuse me, we had to deal with this. It was on television. And we didn't have social media going through the the Clinton impeachment trials. So you're welcome. Because my God,
Yeah.
can you imagine? Oh, Lord. Mid key. So down in that country that's near America called Florida, they are banning books. I'm sorry. When I tell you people who are living in Florida, oh no, it's not. I am from Miami-Dade. You mean Florida? No, I'm from Miami. I'm from Dade County. You mean Florida? No, no, no. I don't live there. I don't know what's going on.
I
So
don't recognize that.
yeah, they're like, I'm sorry, where's that? Girl, what you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. No, no, no. So in Martin County, Florida, nearly 100 books have been removed from Martin County school shelves. And on Tuesday, last Tuesday, parents, teachers, and community members voiced their opinions on the controversial topic. The removal comes after new state requirements were passed in January that allows community members to challenge books. The books that are formally challenged are then reviewed by media specialists in a committee. On Tuesday night, there were hours of public comments at the Martin County School Board meeting. Some people argue that one passage shouldn't determine whether a book is deemed inappropriate for students. Liz Bernstein, a former school board candidate, says she's opposed to the book ban. A lot of these are not banned because of sexually explicit things, but because of LGBTQ or incidents of slavery and rape. That's all part of our history. So, but others like Kathy Peterson feels there is a place for the state's new requirement and agrees with the removal of the 92 books. I don't know how many parents really understand the literary content in here. These words in here, I won't even repeat. The books that were removed range from elementary school books to high school literature. What I'm so sad about is what is done to girls, not women, girls in these books. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here because one of those books that is banned is To Kill a Mockingbird. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
The book
sorry, like,
everybody reads in the sixth grade.
it's happening right now.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, are y'all being serious? So then somebody's Meemaw took time out of her very busy day, living to 100 years old, to
mm.
come out and speak against it. So her name, I can't. It's like she's 100 years old. I wish the hell I would be like, excuse me, I am just trying to live my whole goddamn life. Okay. Her name is Grace Lynn. She is 100 years old. So she got up on this platform where she also made a quilt banning the ban. So she spoke about the fact that her ex, her because she's a widow, her husband was in the war, World War II, and he was killed in battle at 26 years old. So
Mm.
during this, and it's like, let's see, I don't think they have her whole speech because I'm going to find it. She said it. So on the quilt that she made, she had some of the books that were banned. She said, when I show this to adult women, they'll say, oh no, they didn't do that to the color purple. I was born the year after women got the right to vote. My first husband was killed in action in World War II. He died for freedom. Freedom is so important. One of the freedoms that the Nazis crushed was the freedom to read the books that they banned. History will repeat itself if you don't know history. History needs to be told, and everyone needs to know what went on in the past. Banning books and burning books are the same. Both are done for the same reason, fear of knowledge. So when I was looking at some of the books, a lot of them well LGBTQ. One of them, most notably, I noticed was George Johnson's "Not All Boys Aren't Blue," and I'm like, okay, so you're only really banning. These are not books that are like extremely toxic to children. This is about representation, and that's
Yeah.
why you
I
don't want
mean,
it. Go ahead.
a lot of those books we've all read as children. They're for children. A lot of
Correct.
most of those books, most of the books on that list.
I'm like,
So,
are you serious right now? It's like, are y'all okay? I'm like, I know you're not, but it's like, are y'all okay? You're banning
no,
books
I don't
that
even get it.
it's like,
I don't get Florida. Like, what is going on down there? that
Well,
I don't get. Like, what's his name? Ron DeSantis. His name Ron,
yes,
right?
yeah.
Ugh,
The I was gonna call him something
I don't
derogatory.
get because he's not charismatic at all.
And
He's just this.
he won his reelection. It's like, y'all don't care, do
I
you?
don't. Yeah, you just. I don't know. They just want to live in a racist, anti LGBTQ bubble down
Yeah.
there, and I don't understand.
So I had to look for the list because one of them was like bluest eye. I'm like, what? So there
Hmm.
are 84 books on this list. 84. So Beloved and the Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I'm only going to read like it's a whole lot. Change of Heart by Jodi Picoult, and I'm like, what? A lot of wait, a lot of her books are banned. One, two. I've just seen three, four books by Jodi Picoult. I'm probably screwing up her name. Wait, no, I just saw five. I think it's basically all of her books. James Patterson is banned, but it's like his
James
maximum ride.
Patterson.
Maximum Ride. All of those books are banned. What yeah, Jodi, I don't know what Jodi did to them, but yeah, she's literally all of her books look to be banned. And I'm like, I've seen the name before. I don't think I've ever seen one of her books, but yeah, some of these books I'm like, girl, I've never even heard of them. I have heard of Toni Morrison though, and I'm like, one, y'all white ass is not reading her book. Why? And also, I read Push when I was in middle school. That's
Hmm.
Push is the book that was based on Precious for anybody who didn't know. Um, Eric Jerome Dickey is like, yeah, I lived in them like were they like a I got those from the library though. There's a
Yeah, the
Margaret
regular
at
library.
right, the regular, just regular public library. Margaret Atwood,
Yeah.
the Handmaid's Tale. I'm like, I don't one, I'm of two minds of that one, but still though, I read Push in middle school. Elin Harris, Invisible Life. Definitely was a child. I lived to tell the tale. Y'all are super weird. But yeah, I was wondering why I kept seeing Jodi's name because I'm like, why are they asking her? I'm like, yeah, because it looks like it's literally all of her books. I think George Johnson's book is banned somewhere else, which is very weird. It's just not, it's in Florida, but it's banned somewhere else. And I'm like, yeah, I think someone who's either queer or having trans or a non binary experience, I think they really should be able to read this book, especially at a young
Hmm.
age, because they know when
Now,
they're a child.
are they banning those books from the public libraries too, or is it just
It's in these
in
books.
school?
It looks like it's just school libraries.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, it's like from school libraries.
But
And I'm just
I
like,
guess parents that are okay with the ban are probably not letting their kids get those books from the library anyway. So
yeah,
it doesn't
because I think I'm trying to
affect
think in
them.
like in different states. Like here, it's like if you're a child, you're like you can get a library card, but you got to be with your parent.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's the same way. But if it's like a school, I'm trying to think. I'm like, I got most of like literally all my books from a public library. A school
Yeah.
library is like, not really. But then some people
Yeah. I
like,
can't remember ever going to a school library.
yeah, I'm like, school library. Like, maybe it's just more robust in other states. Maybe just like for us, it's like maybe it's like it's not that robust, but for other states, maybe that's how it is. Maybe they don't have like city libraries and county libraries. So I don't
I guess.
know. I get child, what is this? I need y'all to grow up. Literally, we had a school shooting
Do better, Florida.
please. We literally, y'all will not talk about gun laws in this country. We just had another school shooting,
Mm.
and these babies were 3 years old. Y'all will send more talk about literally drag queens reading books. Talk about books that kids cannot read. I'm like, the babies can't read the books if they're not here. So I didn't put this on the list, but it's like it was on there because I was talking to my mom about this. Because one, I watched as Marjorie Tyler Greene, who literally is one of the dumbest people I've ever seen. She got her
Yeah.
ass handed to her because someone said I'm reclaiming my time because they were talking about like aftermath of school shootings. And
Yeah.
she brought up the shooter. Let me be very clear. When I heard about the shooting and they said the gunman was gunned down, I was like, oh my God, she's black. Because they said woman at first. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, oh my God, the person's black. Because I'm like, y'all not shooting white people. Prove me wrong. I'm kidding. Please don't prove me wrong. Please do not send me nothing, y'all. I promise. So when they said
Yeah.
it was, and then this person was trans, all of a sudden it was, okay, let's talk about let's talk about mental illness. Time out, homie. There's a lot of cisgendered people who have mental health issues. Don't do this.
Yeah.
This is not an excuse for you to come after trans people. It truly is not. Because then it's like, because then you don't want to have this conversation about how seemingly, when it comes to mass shootings, especially in schools, white people who identify as males seem to be literally the most dangerous. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's the conversation you want to have, let us know, because then we can have that conversation. But you don't. But this is like, Marjorie, shut the hell up. This is not your excuse. When she said, she told this weird ass story about how I was in 11th grade and one of our teammates brought in 3 guns and we had to shut down the school because none of us had guns. So, not the person who brought 3 guns in. We had to shut it down because y'all couldn't shoot him.
Yeah.
It's like,
Everybody wasn't strapped because they want us to have shootouts in schools now. Okay.
well, 11th grade. And then she said, because of stuff that Joe Biden did. I'm like, wait a minute.
What?
But so you said 11th grade. You are 48 years old. That is over 30 years. Joe, but I don't, girl, what are you, how people were like blaming Obama for 9/11. I'm like, you mean November 11th, 2001? He
Yeah.
wasn't in con. Why do you? It's crack, isn't it? It is bath salts. It's bath salts, isn't it? That's where we are. Y'all don't want to have the conversation because one, I was one of the people who was like, when Newtown happened, I'm like, I guess now we can have a conversation about guns and why civilians should not have military level guns. Because to be very clear, automatic weapons are for the military. We should not,
Mm-hmm.
like, what do you need this for? I need to protect my home because, yeah, a simple pistol would not work. Apparently, you don't need militarized weapons. No one's saying you can't protect your home. You're like, let's talk about the Second Amendment. They were talking about muskets, bitch. They were not
Yeah. Go get
talking,
a musket.
go get a
Give everybody a
musket.
musket.
Girl, I will give you like, take this back to David and Goliath. I will give you a slingshot and a rock. What's wrong with y'all? There are 3 babies that are not here. And it's like for no reason, y'all, and you still don't want to have conversation because now you want to criminalize being trans. This has nothing to do with it. Nothing. You cowardly ass bitches. You would rather talk about drag queens, banning books, transit. Like if she had mental health, I'm sorry, he had mental health issues. I'm like, yeah, because none of the cisgender people who shot up a school had mental health issues and had no problem. Like their gender identity and mental illness has no, we're not going to do this. And it's just gross and disgusting, but on brand. And oh yeah, whatever happened allegedly in Marjorie Tyler Greene's high school is Joe Biden's fault. I'm sorry, bitch. Where are
Did
you
that even
from?
really happen? I mean, her
Who
story, did it
knows?
really happen or
Hold
is it
on. I'm
just.
like, I think she's probably lying through her fucking teeth. But I was like, this is what happened in my high school, girl. And the guy was like, hold on,
Okay.
man, can't go. Because when she's telling the truth, like, reclaiming my time. Oh yeah. It's like, why do you think when he said, why do you think hunters do not hunt deer with an AR with an automatic weapon? there'd be nothing left of the deer. And that's what we don't. We don't have anything left of these children.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yeah,
It's
I'm
horrible.
like you don't see like if you're like someone who like does gaming for sport, which
I don't get that either, but okay.
I guess unless you're like literally killing deer and eating the like if you're like kill like game hunt, I don't want to say game hunting. It's so weird to say, but if you literally are like eating what you kill, okay, I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go to the like. Oh well, they don't have venison. Then I'm gonna go to the Whole Foods. They got everything there.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, I can just go. I'm like, okay, I'll go to Whole Foods. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, whatever you want to do, I guess. Okay, but it's like doing this for fun. It's like, yeah, you do not see them with an AR-15 going out to like, I'll go game hunting. Like, oh, so to tear apart a deer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, how about Reese? I literally just watched Bambi as an adult. I was like,
I've
wait,
never seen Bambi.
I wasn't. The score is beautiful. It really is. But I'm just like, I'm sorry. What the fuck am I watching right now? What
Yeah, I know Bambi. The mother's mother, Bambi's mother
mother? Right. I was
dies.
like, I
Yeah,
thought Bambi was a girl. I'm like, it's a boy. What? I feel like my whole life is a
Bambi's a
lie.
girl. Bambi's a boy.
Bambi's
Oh, okay.
when I tell you it's like,
I did.
but the score is beautiful. It's beautiful. But I'm just like, I it's one dark song where it's literally like these suicidal birds. I am not even kidding you. It's like the score is dark and the birds are like, oh my god, he's coming. The bird flies. Like, girl, it's for children. Why are you not banning Bambi? Like, what is happening? That's like, is this for is this for is this for children?
Yeah,
He's
this
losing
is a
his
beloved
little
movie.
mind. It's like, oh
Everybody
my god, he's
took
getting
their kids to
closer.
see it.
That's it. Get your
Disney
babies
likes
out of
killing.
here.
Disney loves killing a parent though. So
I'm like, does anybody have two parents? I don't think so. Either they have two parents, they don't. Either one of the parents is gone or both of the parents are together. It's like, not on this plane. See how that is? I was like, what's wrong with this bird? I was like, this is for children. Are y'all being for real? Because this doesn't feel like something for children.
I'm glad I've
Why?
never
What?
watched it.
I was like, I'm an adult. I'm like, I don't know what I'd do if I saw this when I was a kid. Because as a kid, because I'm like, to a certain extent, all dogs go to heaven kind of fucked me up a little bit as a kid. Or just like, oh my gosh, is this what's gonna happen? I get in heaven. I'm gonna be like, what
Please,
kind of
I'm still
message is
sad
this?
that Mufasa died when I was a kid. Uh,
Child, I don't know anybody who did not cry. I'm like, I still adult cry when I'm like,
cry.
get up,
Hmm.
get up, please. And also Coco, I have no idea. First time I watched Coco, I was like, okay, this is great. About a year or like 2 years ago, I watched it again. I was like snot bubble crying in my kitchen. Like, oh my God. Stephanie, you've seen this movie like twice. I'm like, I have, and yet here I am, inconsolable in my kitchen because of Coco.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Disney
okay.
hates us. They
It's
just
like,
want us,
oh,
to all be on our floor crying.
I'm like, listen, like, what you get? I need two therapists, one for my general life, and then two for me watching Disney movies. So I watched
Hmm.
Bambi again. What, Stephanie? We discussed this. You wouldn't watch it again. No, right. See, I sound crazy. Okay, so let's talk IP. So there's this guy, I think very, very attractive. He has all the muscles. He gave me very hot nerd in Lovecraft Country. Fast forward, he's getting all the muscles because first I see him in Loki. I'm like, hey, and all of a sudden you see him in Ant-Man. I'm sorry, I saw him in preparation for Creed 3, and it's like, ooh, him and Michael, and all I thought was choo choo. Okay. And then Ant-Man 3, and it was like, okay. And then the movie come out. Okay. And then he's cosplaying as an anime character on the front of Ebony. And remember, like, y'all trying to emasculate the black man, or he's very secure in himself, and y'all can die mad about it. That's the part
Mm-hmm.
where I was sitting. And then, well, weekend, allegations come out of him participating in DV or IPV. DV is domestic violence, IPV is intimate partner violence. Hello, we have more words, you guys, more of them. So that comes out, and then an avalanche comes out. I'm saying avalanche, but what Twitter did, they have following and for you. Following feels more like, oh, this is nice, my speed. For you is like the avalanche of, girl, what the fuck are y'all talking about? I was like, that okay. I have switched my Twitter to the following because the for you is going to make me cuss somebody out.
I didn't even know you could switch that out. I
I
just,
didn't. I was like, can I just combine it? Because, girl, what the hell is this? But I'm like, I don't know who
well,
asked for
it'll be
this
gone
filter.
soon. So
Oh, it is. Oh, thank God, because I can't do this anymore. Because I
yeah,
was like,
because
huh?
he wants you to pay for it. So if you
What
don't
to
pay
have
for
the?
Twitter Blue, to have the for you, you're gonna have to pay for Twitter Blue. I believe it goes away on April 1st.
Oh,
So
so just go back to our regular Twitter that was there before.
yep.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Dastardly Dan. Thank you for switching it back because nobody asked for this. Because it's weird. The people that I'm following. So I don't know if you notice this, but if I go back to my For You page, I click on it. It's people included that
Mm.
I actually do follow, and I don't see it on my following tab. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make
Yeah.
no sense. Like, oh, I these people. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's usually I get people I don't follow, but people I do follow, but it's old like tweets from hours ago or days ago.
Like,
So
I'm so confused. What is this? So he was arrested. And of course, everybody had their opinion because it's like, I think it's mostly because of the shock of, seriously, is there another Jonathan Majors that I don't know about? Because it can't be that guy.
mhm.
And I'm like, but he seems so like sit on faceable. Like, I don't, what, what the
For
hell?
someone as big as he is,
Yeah,
he seems very he's like a more calming presence. He doesn't have
correct.
yeah, he doesn't feel threatening.
He doesn't. It's like, it
And
just seems like very much like he's very chill. And then to see like the photos of him and Michael, just because you could see that they are friends, and people are like, oh my
mhm.
gosh, this is like homoerotic. I'm like, or y'all can recognize that some friends like intimacy between friends is not intimacy that leads to sexual.
Yeah.
And it could just be just love between them because they grew up. And I will say it's very interesting. I have not heard hide nor hair of three people. Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, or Paul Rudd. Good job, guys. Shut the fuck up. Don't say
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't you say, like, no. You can text him and say, hey, man, you good. Please do not get up on these internets and say anything. Be quiet. Like,
No.
I'm gonna
They
walk in
know
like
better so
Michelle, like, I'm
far.
gonna snatch your phone. Give me that damn phone. Stop this. What the hell? So, his lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, who, by the by, was also Jen Shah's lawyer,
Yep.
is now recognizing him because at first it was like everybody's giving their opinion. People who had said like stuff that basically it was subtweeting because the tweet that you had retweeted, I remember seeing that, and it was maybe weeks or months ago where someone just randomly talked about like this big name actor that y'all know of, like y'all might like him, but he really is this, that, and the third. When this stuff came out with Jonathan Majors, someone said, "Were you talking about Jonathan Majors?" He's like, "I was." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and then other people came out and because Reese was like, you didn't see this? I'm like, no, because I'm under following and it must be under for you because I ain't see this. I ain't see none of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know there was like an
It's
avalanche of
weird because
people. Go
yeah,
ahead.
just people, but they weren't. They were. It was still all just rumor stuff. They weren't saying anything specific. Just
Mm-hmm.
that he had just his reputation is like horrible. Like
Yeah.
he's allegedly very abusive when you work with him. Um,
Yeah.
and he's been like that since he was in Yale. Like that's his like apparently that's just his reputation around New York.
Yeah. Which it was kind of like, huh. But I think sometimes that actually is how these things come out. And the first thing people will go is like, wait, why didn't y'all say something before? What makes you think that they didn't?
Yeah. It's like
So,
people don't like you can't say anything about him now like before this like
right.
unless you were ready to like press charges or come out with a serious allegation and be ready to stand behind that because
Yeah.
it's just
And I
yeah.
think and I think the reason why people might be a little bit gun shy is because everything that happened with Amber Heard. Because that trial was not about
Yes.
abuse at all. It was the fact that she talked about it. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, that's the scary part. It's like, so I can't even talk about my experience because if not, my alleged abuser can sue me.
Mm-hmm.
So the first filmmaker, and this was back in February, his name is A.B. Allen. Um, I hope I'm using the right pronouns.
I think that's a woman.
Okay, so it is a woman. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. So she
I think so.
said,
I'm not positive, but
yeah,
I thought it was.
you know what? I'm gonna say they because I'm not sure. So Stephanie is going to like go, you know what? Since I'm not sure, I'm going to say they. So they
Okay.
said there's a particular actor relatively new on the scene who Twitter has violently fallen head over heels for, who in actuality is a vicious, cruel, abusive human being, both professionally and in his personal life. And every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane. So this was around Valentine's Day when they said this. So then someone found AB Allen's tweet and said, now we know who this tweet was about. And Allen retweeted, ding, ding, ding.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently, however, as soon as the media picked up Allen's tweets, the filmmaker appeared to change their tune. I regret my overly flippant tone here. I read the words alleged assault in the tweet, figured we were talking about a shoving match outside of a bar or something, then posted this. Once I read the details, far more brutal than I expected. I wished I had said something else. Everything I've known about has not been physical. They wrote before locking their page. So maybe they identify as they.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so Killer Gaddafi, oh, I'm sorry, not that one person.
Okay.
It's like, whoa, who is this? So the other director, Tim Nicolai, also had something to say about Mr. Majors. He's a sociopath and abuser, and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. Now, these are two different people. This is two different people. This is two different experiences. So, and AB Allen, it sounds like they just thought that it was just, oh, he got into a fight with somebody. Oh, sounds right because he's an asshole, allegedly, not a DV asshole. So Jonathan, I'm sorry, Tim Nicolai said, I'm just going to say this about Jonathan Majors. He also locked his account and be done with
Mm-hmm.
it. Folks at Yale and the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and abuser, and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. I'm seeing already a bunch of why didn't you do anything? Folks, people have tried, ultimately needed a victim to come forward. It's both simultaneously awful to know he is still doing this and also relief that he may never get to again. A bunch of us are close with people and sometimes multiple people he has directly harmed. I don't know if they will speak on it. It is completely their decision. Probably going to delete this when it turns into active harassment, which is inevitable on here. It won't matter. I'm sure other folks are already verifying. I so that is literally two people on the
Yeah.
internet.
And
And that
I saw
is
more
for me.
people, but I
And that's the
think a
thing.
lot of
That's
tweets
what
got
Reese,
deleted.
right. So that's what, so Reese, can you speak to that? Because I didn't see it. Because when you said it, I was like, I saw two people. Literally, these are the two people I saw.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw more people responding to them
Mm-hmm.
who were just like agreeing with them. Like nobody was giving any details about what he actually did. Just saying he's not well. He's
Mm,
crazy. He like there's something wrong with him.
okay.
Is basically the gist of it. But I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like reading tweets and I was just going past. I wasn't taking screenshots or anything. I was just going
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Um but then people started locking their accounts and deleting their tweets. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
where any of that stuff is. It's just gone to Twitter now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the sad part. This kind of, and it's not directly a direct comparison. It kind of reminds me of what happens every time Amanda Seales has a misstep. All of a sudden, everybody reminds us that, yeah, people in New York don't fuck with her. It's like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, it always just kind of comes up because I think if this were to like people who are saying, like, hey, I heard this about Jonathan Majors and this didn't come out, people are looking at him like, why are you saying this about this man? Because then it turned
Mm-hmm.
into his lawyer saying she is going to fully recant. She is going to, like, the charges are going to be brought, this, that, and the third. And so then the two words that I wish people would stop using started being thrown around. Emmett Till. And I'm like, I need
Oh God.
y'all to stop doing this. Because if not, I am going to find me a voodoo priestess or like a medium, and I'm going to ask them to get Mamie Till up here to haunt your asses. I'm so sick of
Mm,
y'all with this. I'm like, please stop doing this to this family. And also, please stop acting like Emmett Till is a unicorn. This
yes.
happened to a lot of people. He is just the one that everybody knows about. There's no such thing as just one Rosewood, one Tulsa massacre, one Amistad. That's not true. One Emmett Till. No, it's more out there that people don't know. And it's like, if it was true, then there wouldn't be not no ripple effect of people moving their
Stop bringing
children.
up. But
But
yeah, but stop invoking the name of Emmett Till when you don't even know whether this man is guilty or not. Like you don't know. Like this man could have actually abused this woman.
exactly.
So
It's like we don't
then
know,
it's
like,
not. Emmett Till was a child. That's not. Stop bringing him up. Leave
yeah,
him alone. Let him
please
rest.
let this
Um.
like his mother rest and all of that rest. Because I'm like, no, no children should be like, I gotta move my children out of this state because they're throwing children in barrels and throwing them in lakes and rivers. That's a real thing. I got my mother told me
Yeah.
this. I'm like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, they were taking children and putting them in alive in oil barrels and throwing them in the rivers and lakes.
Mm,
And this was after Emmett Till. So it's like, if you think this was after, what do you think happened before? The only reason why we know about it is because
mm.
Mamie's like, no, y'all need to see what they did to my child. Stop letting them get away with this. This was not because it was like the only thing that ever happened. She's like, this happens a lot. She had to fight for that. Stop invoking Emmett Till because of this. Because three things were happening. Emmett Till also, he should like be with no black. This happens you mess with these white women because allegedly his significant other is white. And the other thing is, yeah, if there's a black woman, he wouldn't have been put in jail. That's what the flex y'all think it is.
No, it's horrible.
It's like, why it's like
Like that was
so okay, go ahead.
Claudia Jordan was like the latest person I heard that got
Oh
caught up
my god.
in that sort of mentality.
Oh
Like you need to stay away
god.
from those white women. Like, come on. Like, no, that's not what. That's not what I want. I don't want him to be out here abusing black women. Just so, like, come on.
Like,
We
is
got to
that
do better, people.
the thing about it? Is some of the same people were saying that they're trying to set up and like harm this man. Literally, were trying to find ways to hate Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion felt like was
Yes.
shot at and literally was going to hold that because we carry the weight of we like look, white people throw black men in jail. We can't be the ones throwing them in jail too. So you bury all that pain and that trauma. And you're literally saying, well, if he was with a black woman, this never would have happened. If he allegedly is a domestic abuser, yes, it would have. Why would you want the woman that he is alleged he's accused of harming to be black to make this okay? It's not okay. Because the thing, so I guess I don't know if it's just me, Reese. It may just me. I'm like, I don't understand why people can't just go. Really hope this is not true.
Yeah,
Because one,
they
I don't
can't.
think anybody doesn't want. I'm like, you can just say that. I'm like, I really hope this is not true. No matter how much stuff comes out, I really hope this is not true. And then something else came out, and I was like, oh god damn it. So Priya, um, and also sidebar, Jen Shaw got a year knocked off her sentence. I'm not exactly sure why though, but she's
Neither
at
am
6 years.
I.
I
It's
was like,
like she's only been there for a few weeks, right?
right, and it's like now
It's
she
not
got a
like
year
she
knocked
was
off.
good behavior or
Like,
something.
and are you even like the time that y'all were going through? Because it wasn't like she was locked up while she was going to trial, so it's not time. It's like okay.
No.
Mm. So Priya decided to take a screenshot of the alleged text between them because she said, now this is what Priya said, she's going to fully recant and she's going to take back, like she's going to recant. Recant usually means like I'm taking back, I'm not going to follow through with my statement. Okay, that's not okay, y'all. That doesn't necessarily mean that something didn't happen
Wasn't.
because you know who else
Exactly.
recanted a their statement because this person allegedly essayed them on a bus, Nellie's victim. And the only reason why she said she recanted it because she was tired of being harassed because her name got out in the press. It didn't
Yeah, I
mean that
mean,
something
it's what
didn't really
happens a lot
happen.
of times in these
They
situations.
just take it back, like, look, I don't want to have time. So this is the screenshot that has been going out from the TMZ. Somebody next door is burning. Oh, it's too much smoke. Okay. Our smoke detectors in our townhouses are very sensitive. So I'm like, oh, it's loud. Anyway, so this is from the young woman, allegedly. Please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. I'm so angry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you. 3 hours and 32 minutes later, they just called again to check on me, and I reiterated how this was not an attack and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation, and I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told this. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about. I just want you to know that I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing and passing out, and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior. Out of care, she promised all will be relayed.
I mean, okay. I mean, if that's her, but that to me, that doesn't prove anything.
That doesn't sound
Just
like
that
recanting either.
no, that's like that could be like any woman who is like uh she's just fresh out of the hospital. They did get into a physical altercation.
Mm-hmm.
Um and she's just backtracking now because that's what happens when people are in abusive relationships and then you don't want their partner to go to jail.
Which
Like, how
happened.
many times do you hear about the police getting called in a domestic violence situation and the woman jumping on
The cops
the
don't
cops,
arrest
like
my
trying
man.
to push
Don't
the
take
cops
him
up?
away.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Like, yes. Like, to me, this is like for the court of public opinion. This is not for a real court. This is
This is
what
not
Tory
for a real
Lane's
court. Mm-mm.
yeah, this is what Tory Lane's what his
This is what
lawyers were doing, putting all
this is
that
what
stuff
his
out.
pappy was thinking. Like they're just trying to tear this black man down. So three
Yeah,
things.
they were putting all that stuff out in the media, but
It's like
like
this doesn't
yeah.
really absolve him because one, what injuries on you? Two, my fault for trying to grab your phone. Sorry, what? Me. This is what I'm like. It's my fault because I tried to grab his phone. That sound. I'm sorry. It's like I'm watching a Lifetime movie based on these alleged texts,
Yes.
and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
this does not really absolve him. It doesn't. It's like if you're saying that you initiated the contact, that is different. But that doesn't sound like that's what you're saying. Like if you initiated a fight and then I guess he defended himself, which is literally still not what it's
But yeah.
being shown here. I'm like, you're like, I told him not to go forward. I'm like, so depending on the state, there's a violent domestic violence situation and somebody else calls the police, you are now out of it because somebody else just called. I think somebody is getting harmed somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're out of it. Now it's not your case. It's now the state's case. I don't know what's happening here with Jonathan Majors. And one, again, I'm still sitting here. I really hope this is not true. And, or better yet, how it's playing out. I really hope this is not true. That this man is literally
You know
physically
what?
abusive to his partner.
I want to know what happened to the video because a few days ago, his
Mm-hmm.
lawyer was talking about we have video.
And
We
witnesses.
can prove yeah, video and witnesses. I want to see the video. Don't show me these text messages. These text messages don't matter. If you have video of what actually happened,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want to see. Don't give me these text messages right now. This is manipulative. I don't want to see text messages.
Because y'all said, see again, y'all said you had witnesses and a video that completely exonerates him. And also, that literally there was no physical violence. And now you're talking about injuries. You said you had this stuff, and now seemingly you don't. Where are the witnesses? Because apparently this happened in a cab, and now it sounds like it didn't happen in a cab, it happened in the home. I'm very confused. Where did this happen?
Yeah, I
It's like this sounds like y'all.
that yeah, it's
This
weird.
sounds like you're saying this is in your home. Like, so that's not the story I got before. And again, I really hope this is not true. If it is true, he's on a list of other people. Because I think the other thing people are bringing up is Ezra Miller.
I mean, I don't know. There's no explanation for what Warner is it Warner Brothers or Sony? I forget which one it is. Whoever it is. There's
Oh,
no
for
explanation
DC
for what they're doing.
with
Yeah,
the
for
Flash movie,
why
where I'm
they
like, why are we moving forward on the Flash? And
yeah,
y'all,
there's really no
was it the
explanation for that.
Batgirl? Was it the Batgirl movie or the Supergirl movie they
Yeah,
like shelved?
Bat it was Batgirl that
Okay.
they canceled.
Okay. So yeah, this so Ezra from and the thing about it is I wasn't paying him any attention because he's DC and I'm gonna do better.
They.
Um I'm sorry. They are DC. Thank you. So again, and also with Ezra, this is not a way to criminalize trans people or someone living a trans experience. Please stop this. Like y'all. And also if you want to compare someone who can like should be able to get away with stuff, why aren't y'all talking about Robert or William? They're both in jail now, but they had decades where they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
So you can compare them. You can compare maybe, well, I don't know. I mean, he kind of went to jail, but not because of this. And a lot of people kind of didn't believe Robin Givens when she said that Mike Tyson was violent. She even did an interview with the man who literally allegedly abused her. Halle Berry is a victim of domestic violence. Please stop acting like this is a white man thing and only like, look, if a white man could get away with it, we should be fine. No, we shouldn't. This is all still alleged, and I still hope it's not true. There's a lot of
Nothing's happened to
gray.
him yet, though.
Right. Nothing
It's
has
not like
happened. He only
Marvel
lost it.
Marvel hasn't said anything.
Marvel has not said
He
a
lost that
goddamn
army
word.
thing.
He's like, he had
Yeah,
a army commercial that a lot. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Did anybody else not notice he was in an army commercial? Because I didn't.
I didn't know. So
Right. Because here's the thing. It's like, yeah, Ant-Man 3, Creed 3, in the can, out in the zeitgeist. What were they going to
yeah,
do? They're not going to pull out.
Mar-
They're not going to pull the movie out of the theater. It's not going to happen.
exactly.
And yeah,
So Marvel's going to wait to see what happens.
yeah,
And then it'll just be what it is whenever this
whenever,
goes to court or
whenever,
whatever
right.
happens.
If it, right, it's like if it does or doesn't, because it's like before these text messages, it was extremely quiet. Because I'm like, she said that homegirl recanted, and we got a video, and it's going to prove his innocence, and then we got this. That doesn't really. That just adds more gray and adds more questions. It does not exonerate him. It just has more questions, which we kind of don't want because that does not lead to um benefit of the doubt. It just adds more questions. Like, yeah, a lot of us have watched um Women Who Kill and Lifetime movies and Snapped and all of the and Law and Order SVU. We've watched or better yet talked to women in our family. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
the flex that y'all think this is. I just
I
want
don't
to
even see
enjoy
him getting a
stuff.
bunch of criticism right now.
Yeah, I don't see
Like
it either. It's very much like,
after
yeah, go ahead.
everybody just is quiet about it now. It was the first few days was just like a lot of talk, but now it's not until the text messages came out. There was really no he. It's not like he was getting dragged on Twitter or anything. It just went away.
Yeah. Because like it got, I thought it was just kind of like, when people like say they curate the timeline, I'm like, I thought I didn't see anything because I didn't, again, I went from for you to following. Like, I
Yeah.
thought that's why I didn't really see it. But I think the very much, y'all just trying to lie on this man and she is just lying. I'm like, yeah, I remember this when a nice young lady who does the raps, she sings about her pussy over some really dope beats, got shot at.
Mm.
Y'all flat out said that she was lying. Flat out. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, y'all just trying to tear down his career. Give me 5 Tory Lanez songs right now. That's charting right
Give me
now.
one Tory Lane song. I cannot name one song from
I
that man.
can't like child. I knew, but I thought he had just started out in music when I saw him on the Instagram lives with the mic. I was like, oh, he's not a new artist. I thought he was new. But also, Tory Lanez is the same person who fabricated a video to show that he was all about like lifting up darker skinned black women.
Mm.
Sir, get the
You
hell out of
expect
my
that. His
face.
name is Day. You expect that from a guy named Daystar.
Star and his dad's name. It's like girl, well, his daddy name is okay. The thing about it is like it can't be believe women unless it's a woman I don't like. Believe woman unless
Yeah.
the accused is a black man. And I'm like, there's too many black women, there's too many women in our community, cis and trans, who either is a victim or knows somebody is a victim of domestic violence and they're perpetrated because of proximity as a black man. This is just
Yeah.
because of proximity, not because black men are more dangerous, because by the by, they're not. We're only talking about proximity crime. And usually, if a black woman is harmed, the person in closest proximity is another black person. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the only reason why. That's why the stats are different. Like, well, yeah, because most white women are abused because of proximity by white men, not black men, as um the Trumpers would let you think. Ugh. Ugh.
Mm.
I just And the thing about this, I also, can we please, and it's not me and Reese, it's the hashtag we, the hashtag y'all. Can y'all please stop re-triggering people who actually are victims and survivors of DV by literally saying this shit that they probably have either replayed in their minds, I've heard from other people. You're just trying to take him down. Oh, she lying. I mean, what did she say to him first? What did she do to him first? You're traumatizing a lot of people where it's like, nobody believed me when I said it. And I had to deal with it. Women who were abused, or I'm sorry, people, because DV is not a man woman thing, it's not a hetero thing. It takes
Yeah.
people a lot of time to leave, multiple times, because they like, oh, maybe it is something. And there's this thing called Stockholm Syndrome. I don't want to put Stockholm Syndrome on those alleged texts. I'm not going to put it there. Not that it can't be there. I'm just not going to put it there. But please know, I get it. You're like, y'all getting y'all, we're all getting our rocks off on social media. But please know there are other people going like, this is what people think. And I know people think like, it's the internet. It's not real. Real people are putting out stuff on the internet. I'm a real person. Reese is a real person. Some people might look at the
No,
shit
I'm
we
a
say
robot.
like, oh, okay. Well, you know, Rosie the robot over here. I'm a troll. I am not. I will not do no such thing. Um, please know I'm like, I know there's people who hide and like think this shit is cute to be like just extremely harmful with their words because words can hurt. I know sticks and stones, we say that a lot, but yeah, words mean things and they can be very harmful. Please know that there are people who really like, wow, is this what people think? Yeah, because some people are really cowardly bitches and they would never say this shit to people's face. They'll type it though. Because oh, it's anonymity. I'm like, yeah, this thing called IP addresses, bitch. I can find you. A lot of people can find you. Black
Yep.
Twitter can find your ass. Okay. That's why people who
Black
are
Twitter can find anybody.
child, you be like, fuck you, Black Twitter. Oh, you fucked around and found out. Mm. Well, Reese, I think we have a show. I feel like Wendy Osefo put a button in it. I had to find a laugh because hooch later just bothers me because I know many a woman who's been abused. I know many a man who's been abused. I know a few men or people who have like healed from being abusive because that's some unlearning you have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes a lot of work for you to unlearn that. And you may have to lose some stuff so that you can focus on that. Losing an army commercial does not mean this man is going to go hungry. He's
Please.
still
He's
signed by
fine.
Marvel. He's totally fine, guys. Yeah. Uh, Reese, I know you're coming back. I cannot wait for you to come back. And yes, we are going to do our Daria thing. I wonder if I can find the original version of these movies. It's probably on the internet. Reddit probably has it. But Reese, thank you so much for being here. Please, if you would like people to follow you, tell them how they can follow you on the. She knows the stuff, so just follow.
I'm Reese everywhere. You don't have to follow me. I'm not that interesting on Twitter. I'm only tweeting about Summer House these days because I'm so upset.
That's right, because you
So
said
yeah.
you went back and watched the first season. I'm like,
Yep. I just finished
girl,
the first season.
what are your thoughts about first season?
The first season is so good. Um, I started watching the first season on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
but Hulu doesn't have all the episodes. So I just
It
started
doesn't?
watching from the real begin. No, Hulu skips quite a few episodes. I didn't realize, but on the first season they start
Oh,
at like episode 4 or something like that. And I got Peacock, so
oh.
I just went and start. I went and watched from the beginning. It's so good, but uh, it's almost like it's like watching Lindsay and Carl are Lindsay and Everett. Like, well, without the fighting. Lindsay and Everett are like really like toxic toward each other. They fight all the
Mm-hmm.
time. But the way the house is reacting to like they're upset about their relationship, but the reaction to it is so different. Like
Mm.
current season, everybody, they hate Lindsay.
Yeah.
Hate her.
Yeah.
First season, Lindsay, everybody, they don't like the fighting and everything, but nobody is, and they're questioning their relationship. They're questioning whether her and Ever are moving too fast, whether they're moving in together too fast,
Mm-hmm.
questioning all of that.
Yeah.
But just the tone of it is so different.
Isn't it though?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so different.
So I think I went on Peacock to watch one of the reunions because, early seasons of the reunions, it was considered Watch What Happens Live. So I couldn't find, like, it wasn't
Okay.
on the Bravo. It wasn't, I was like, damn, I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
because there's no reunion here after the
Yeah.
first
So I
season. It's
think it
just
was like either the
yeah.
third or the fourth season reunion because I had never seen it because I think like the first year of COVID, I went back and watched it because I was following oh no Chelsea and she kept making Loverboy comments. I'm like, what the heck is Loverboy? Is that a thing? And she's like, oh, it's one of the products they have on Summer House. And I'm like, oh, that show. I'm like, one, I didn't even know what Summer House was. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all rent a house and then go back to work? Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I started watching. I kind of liked it. So then like because so I was late. So I started like maybe season 4. I had binged 4 seasons and like, because of course, hello, lockdown, nothing else to do. So then when I saw people who didn't like Lindsay, I was like, y'all like she seems like crazy for summer. She seems like reality TV gold. Maybe I've just been watching reality TV for way too long. So it's like
Yeah.
first season Lindsay and season 7 Lindsay seemingly are two different people. But
Lindsay is
but
better in
but
season
it's
7. Like, she's a better person.
exactly she is. It's
Like,
like
Lindsay, first season Lindsay is kind of an asshole.
yeah, because I'm like, you're not gonna have a business in our home, girl. I just want to sit around with no bra on, and you got these broads in this house.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, face. So I was telling somebody that we were talking about it. I was like, the problem is that season 1 Kyle, season 7 Kyle, kind of the same Kyle. A lot of people have not grown.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
See, that's the thing. You've seen season 1. A lot of people that have not gone back when they watch somehow. Oh, I started with season 3. That is your problem because you think one, Lindsay is so different. She's been that. I'm like, girl, they have said that shit about Lindsay, and also you have never seen the workest circus or the
Mm-hmm.
messiest person who's ever been on Summer House, and I kind of adore him, Steven.
Steven.
You need. I'm like,
Christina is really messy too.
yep,
Christina is real messy. Christina
yep.
got caught. Steven is not getting caught. Steven is a
That's what,
mess, but he's
girl.
like
That's what I was
he's more
telling
covert about
people.
it.
I was like, there's no one like the messiest person. You obviously did not watch the seasons with Steven because he never got called on that shit. Ever. He never got
Like, he
clocked for
kind of
that.
gets called out by Everett, but like
But people
he
like
gets
fuck
lost in the
Everett.
sauce a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they just move on from him. Christina is the one that gets caught. She
Right. And it was like, but yeah, y'all need
but
to know
no,
about the workers circus, okay?
but Kyle, I didn't realize I knew Kyle turned 40
Mm-hmm.
in the current season. His birthday is he turned
Mm-hmm.
40 in the current season.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle was 34 when this show started. I
Yep.
did not realize he was that old.
That's the thing.
And
It's
Shows up. Amanda's 9 years younger than him. I didn't
yep.
realize that either.
Yep. It's like the
So,
thing.
and he
Mm-mm.
Kyle is a mess.
I
He
think
has not
Kyle,
changed.
he is not, because I think on the older end it was him, and I think the Workers twins were a little bit older. Carl, and to a certain extent, Lindsay. Lindsay's 36, and I think Carl is 38.
Lindsay turns 30 in the first season. Kyle
Mm-hmm.
turns 35 in the first season. The
Mm-hmm.
Workers twins are still in their 20s in the first season.
Okay, I thought they were around the same
They're
age.
like 28 or 29 or something.
Okay, because I
No,
couldn't remember. So it's like, yeah, I think Kyle, Lindsay, and Carl are the
Kyle's the
older
oldest.
ones. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Kyle Cook with an E, and they say he's an August Leo. I'm like, he is. Yeah, because fun fact, and I tell everybody kind of knows this by now. Lindsay Hubbard and I have the same birthday.
Oh.
Me, her, and Tinsley Mortimer. Look at us. Look at us. This is the gamut. I'm like, I got on one hand Hub House, on the other hand Tinsley. You guys, like, what are we doing? So I've told everybody, it was like, when you look at Carl and Lindsay, they've done the most growing up because one, Carl was a complete asshole. He was my favorite thought.
Yes.
He was a hoe for the streets. That ass was for the streets. And then Lindsay turned that hoe into a housewife. But also,
Yeah,
he had
Carl
a
is
very
hard.
big addiction problem because it wasn't just alcohol. I think he was also allegedly doing drugs too. So it was like, yeah, he
Yeah, he
needed
was.
to change. Y'all kept like people say like she getting activated. Lindsay needed to change. She did that, and they're like, wait a minute, y'all kept saying she don't support her dude. She's supporting him, and now you're like, wait a minute, why are you supporting him like this? I'm like, eh,
Yeah.
and then also the whole thing when Gabby and Danielle were on Watch What Happens Live, and Gabby said they asked, "Who do you have the think has the most to answer for the reunion?" She said, "Danielle." Danielle's like, "Me?"
Danielle.
I was like, "Oh no, baby, you have a lot to answer for because let's be very clear.
Yes.
You, Carl, and Lindsay are very good friends. Y'all were the Trace Amigos, remember?" And I have no idea why Kyle Cook is acting like him and Lindsay were never friends. You're actually relegating her to Carl's girlfriend. You knew Lindsay before you knew Carl.
Yes. Kyle and Carl are barely friends in the first season.
Thank you.
Carl basically calls him an acquaintance in this first
Hello?
season. He was like he doesn't really know him.
That's why I was like, why are you acting like Lindsay came like because I think Carl was on the Bros podcast and he said Carl and Lindsay had been like doing summer share houses for a few years. And then he said, I met Kyle in Montauk. I'm like, so why? See, I'm like, see, this is not helping. This is why I'm like, Kyle, why are you acting like Lindsay is not your friend? Because anytime you had an issue with Paige or Hannah, sorry, side was Lindsay on? She was on yours. So you wrote a 17-page letter to the group asking them to be nice to Amanda after they knew you fucking cheated on her. You did this after Lindsay cut her out of a photo, and you will not extend that to Carl. You're blaming everything that one, Carl is not being a that that man needs to bitch up, nut up, and go tell your man, I'm done playing this shit. I don't want to do this job anymore, but it's Lindsay's fault. And Lindsay's the one telling him to go talk to you. If you're not happy, I'm like, are you
Yeah,
happy?
Carl.
Well, then go talk to Kyle about this. Because one, you guys are friends. If you weren't, I think she
No,
would have told him to quit.
Carl is non-confrontational to
Very.
a point that I can't stand him. He's like that in the first season.
He is.
He he has he because he was which I forget which one of the work is this he was doing, but um he doesn't like to confront anything. He just walks away. He comes back and he has an attitude about himself, but he doesn't want to say what's really wrong with him. Not Kyle. Carl is a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So Carl has a real attitude problem about him, but he doesn't want to
Yeah.
confront anything. And it's worse this season because and not this the current season because he's letting Lindsay take all the blows for him.
Yeah.
And she just fighting for her life in that house, and he's not doing anything, and it's getting on my nerves.
He's not. It's like the thing about it is, I hope just like Sheena should came to Pump Rules, she said the reunion for an apology to Katie. Some of y'all better have some apologies to Lindsay. Most notably Amanda. Amanda, shut the hell up. Because when you were on Kyle's side about how he feels about Carl, I'm sorry, were you going against Kyle and said maybe you should just talk to, no, hear him out? No, you're doing the same thing that Lindsay is doing. So why are you making it seem like Lindsay's wrong for doing it? Aren't you doing that with Kyle? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'd be mean to you because you get on my nerves. Her voice drives me
Yeah,
nuts.
Amanda's annoying.
So I'm like, wait a minute. It's
She's
like the
really
thing about
annoying.
it is like this man literally wrote a 17-page email because she got cropped out of a photo. And who encouraged him, like, well, maybe you should talk to the group was Carl. He's like, I didn't think he was going to do that. I'm like, sir, he is a Leo. Why the fuck would you do this? Why would you do this to an August Leo? Fuck out of here. Do like, no. Tell them, do not tell your August Leo friend to confront something. Tell them to take a beat. Ask me how I know. Like, do not encourage me to talk. It'll be 25 pages. I'm kidding. I would not. I'm like, it's a fucking Instagram photo. And also, your friends knew you were fucking cheating on her. I was like, I feel like you shouldn't have cut her out. Maybe just not tag her, but I feel like you would have gotten a 12-page letter from Kyle if you did that. It was like, be nice to my girlfriend. I'm like, You can't even extend that to Lindsay, and Lindsay allegedly was your friend. And now you're acting like she wasn't. How did this happen? How did Lindsay just stop being your friend? I don't understand
Yeah,
it.
that's what I don't get.
I was like, y'all, we're friends. They
I
keep
don't. It's
saying
like
it.
they're trying to get Lindsay out of here because they were. This started for me. I watched the last season of Winter House, so
Mm,
they were horrible about. They were not to her face though. It was a
okay.
lot of stuff behind her back. What's his name? What's his name? The Paige's boyfriend.
Oh,
Um,
pain in the ass.
Craig.
Craig. I was like, it's a
Yeah,
C.
Craig was calling. Yeah, they all starts with C's. God damn it! But Craig was calling her. He was calling Lindsay ugly and old behind her back. The new girl Jessica that was on the show, even got into it because she looked. Her and Lindsay look alike. She's like
They
25 years old,
really
and then she
do.
made it. Yeah, they look a lot alike. Um, she because somebody made a comment about how much she looks like Lindsay, and she was like, "Oh, like ill," and I'm like, "But you new
Oh.
here? How you doing? Like you can't do that." So and it was really gross to me because he was saying that stuff in front of Paige and Amanda and everybody, and nobody was checking him. I'm like, I
Mm-mm.
get it. Y'all don't like
They don't like
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Cool. I don't care if
Mm-hmm.
you don't like her, but like y'all know y'all on TV, right? And we can all see this. And
Right.
no, he's like doing this for no reason. There's no
Correct.
reason for he calling her ugly. It's just it was nasty and I
And it's
didn't like it. And
right. And it's
so
like, yeah, I can't. So this is on the new season. I did like I remember the fight between Danielle and Sierra last year. When they showed the clip
yeah.
slowing down of the glass, I went, oh, that's why Danielle was like about to lose her mind. I'm like, oh, this looks totally different. Slowed down. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know why. It's like
Yeah.
because it moves so fast. And I was like, when I slowed down, I'm like, oh, so that's why Danielle was literally about to like beat your ass. It's like that's why she was losing her mind on that reunion stage. It's like, oh, okay, this makes total sense. And I'm like, and even then, it's like, yeah, you and Sierra can work through this because one, Sierra, you brought her into it. You said you too. She was like, wait, too, what? Your issues with Lindsay. Why are you bringing Danielle into this? Like, don't bring her in and then say, why are you here? Because what? I was like, you kind of invited her, but also y'all don't really have an issue, so y'all can squash this shit. You really don't. And yes, Danielle's going to have a lot to say because I'm like, Danielle, why are you kicking with people who don't fucking like Lindsay? And you're supposed to be your friend.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, get on out of here. But we're going to get out of here. How about that?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
But
I
y'all,
could talk about Summer House all day. It's
we
making
really
mad. So
can.
yeah,
So
go
that
ahead.
means you just got to come back when the season is over. That's just what this means. But
Yeah.
y'all, Reese, thank you again. Guys, this has been a Mocha Men's podcast. I will be back. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.